Hello, good morning. It is just after 7 a.m. in northwestern Wisconsin, and apparently it's going to be a hot one. So today, I have prepared recipes that are going to make you go, hmm. Now, the recipes that I have not seen. Bear in mind, I have a full-time second shift job. Generally speaking, that means I don't have a life. However, to catch up the folks that have not been following the story, I had hip surgery. A brand new hip put in on May 1st. So with that being said, these past 7 weeks, I've been left to my own devices. The good, the bad, and let's be frank, sometimes the ugly. So today I prepared for you not one, but 2 brand new recipes that I haven't seen anywhere because I don't have that type of time to be on the internet looking for all the recipes that is on the World Wide Web. So these are new creations that came from my brain. So without further ado, let's come up with the first one, which is a coffee. Now, bear in mind, it's my choice during this week to do my N=1 experiment where I'm not drinking coffee for 2 hours after waking up. That's just me. That's the minimum that I have chosen. So I've been up since 5 a.m. this morning watching Dr. Kiltz. Of course, what else do you do at 5 in the morning but watch Dr. Kiltz and his live? And it's time now for the coffee. So without further ado, let's go and see what I've got in store for today's brew for me and you. Okay, so right here on the scale we have 5 grams of beef tallow. That's first. And now I measured out 5 grams of butter, hence 10 grams for the recipe. And the reason why I started out with the beef tallow first is because the tub is refrigerated, and using the melon baller, it's easy to turn it upside down and put it on the scale to measure out the grams. So beef tallow, 1 teaspoon down, butter, 1 teaspoon up. Let me commence with the rest of the recipe. And now here are all of the ingredients that I'm going to use in making the beef, bacon, butter, and egg coffee for today. First, we're going to start out with, so simple, the coffee. I'm going to put the spoon into here. There's a reason. So that it can melt off of the melon baller. I don't plan on using melon baller for melons. No melons here. That was the beef tallow side, as you can see. Now there's the butter side, clean as a whistle. Next ingredient is Beam beef collagen. And I'm using 1 serving, which is a standard scoop. The next is 1 tablespoon of the beef gelatin powder. That's going in there. And if you're wondering where the egg is, it's here. Let me stir around what's in the Vitamix first before I put it onto the Vitamix, so stand by. Okay, coffee is blended very well. This is the reason why I suggest people to use a high-powered blender. You don't have to have a Vitamix, but you really should use a high-powered blender because these blenders will just leave one big slick on top of your coffee mug, and you don't need that. Now comes the egg, and I'm going to be putting the egg into the decanter while it's blending around. So here we go. All right, let's turn it on. Let's pour in the egg in a stream, mixing it up. Hence, we don't want scrambled eggs in our coffee. But I'm going to kick up the speed now. Here goes. Pick it up. High speed, higher speed, where I feel safe with the lid off. That's it. Let's bring it around and pour it in back into the thermal mug. Here we go. I've done this before. Some of you may be concerned and want to use a sieve because you're afraid of having scrambled eggs. Again, I've done this plenty of times before, and I'm comfortable with it just like this. Let's have a drink, shall we? Hello. Here we go. The coffee mustache. Oh, it's so good. So, for those of you that are asking me, Jerry, you said beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. Where's the bacon? This is the suggestion about bacon for you. You can surely use Knox gelatin because that comes from a pig. You don't have to use the beef gelatin. Butter, of course, that's a standard. The beef tallow, beef. If you want to be brave, I have done this before. I personally don't like the taste of it. I have used the lard before. For my taste buds, it's a bit much for me. I've also had my coffee and put in a piece, very crispy piece of bacon into the coffee. So there you go. That is the beef, bacon, butter, and egg version of blended coffee for the day. So good, so filling. Can BBB&E coffee be made? Yes. For those people that do a 1 cup of coffee experience, like me, it's real good. So give it a shot. Let me know down below if you plan on trying it. If you've ever tried it before, I'd like to hear from you. Thanks. And stick around for more recipes. Today is Recipe City. While I'm sitting here sipping on my high-protein coffee, I wanted to let you know that I will be putting the macros down on the next screen so that you can see them. I'll put those macros first because I'll be doing recipe creation, and then I'm going to put down for each recipe what the macros are and then do a screenshot from there. At the end of the day is when the recipe count will be there in addition to the macros, so you'll be able to check out the pie charts at the end of my day to see what my macros were. Does it make sense? I think it makes sense. You'll have to see later. It's going to be a good day today. Well, yippee skippy, look what just arrived. Butcher box! Let's do an unboxing. Yep, I'm still cripping around with the walker. All right, and we'll rip this guy open first. Whoops. Hopefully it'll be the right way without flipping and flopping. Oh, good. That's perfect. Wow, icy. Super icy. They're prepared, unlike QVC, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know, as the cool kids are saying. Let's see what we got here. We got a lot of stuff this month. Lots of stuff. Wow, what's this? What is this? The butcher box in the bag. I love these bags. These bags are wonderful. Butcher box bag. Yes, sorry. I have to move my walker. We're going to go box at a time. And bear with me because you know I have this thing about doing one-handed videography, if you know what I mean. Okay, we have stuff here. Not necessarily for me now. Remember, I'm the carnivore in the family, but the husband likes his cod. So we have some wild-caught Alaskan cod. And you know how much I love that made in the USA stuff. If you know, you know. Throw it in the sink after I'm done with the unboxing. What do we have here? We have grass-fed filet mignon. This is Jack's favorite. Even though it's petite and it's small, he likes these. He can finish a whole one, of course. But he's not as ravenous as your girl Jerry is. We have here grass-fed beef premium steak tips. That's for those times I just need something quick. Throw it in a pan, stir it around, or the air fryer is my best friend. We all know that. Pork, yes. I know, Cindy, this is not allowed on BBB&E. I know, my girlfriend, my police officer, Cindy, but I have this for after the BBB&E challenge. Whoa, that sucker's heavy. Move that over. What's this guy? Oh, yes, this is for when we have company in the summertime. Danielle, I'm talking to you for Blakely, the baby. We have some chicken breast nuggets. This is, again, kid food. Easy, 1, 2, 3 to cook for the kiddos. And like I said, Danielle, Josh, I'm talking to you guys. We have some more of the filet mignon for the Jackster. And this is chicken breast strips for Blakely or Danielle and Josh. And in the bottom of this is all ribeyes. All ribeyes right at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ribeyes. 6 ribeyes. What's this guy? More steak tips. Woohoo! Ooh, my hands are freezing. More ribeyes because that's what your girl Jerry likes. And more steak tips. So let me put the stuff back in there so Jack can take it downstairs and open up the second box. Okay, in the interest of time, I opened the flaps to make it easier and more timely. I guess I should have probably removed the dry ice too. Hang on. Well, there we go. That's much better. Butcher box, thank you. They gave me another bag with my box. So yay for me. These are fantastic for going grocery shopping when I go to Eau Claire. Just saying. Let's see what's inside this guy. Okay, we've got some raw Gulf shrimp because Jack likes shrimp. I like shrimp too, but not during BBB&E, of course. Boneless chuck roast. Yum. I'm going to leave this out and let this thaw because my girl Chanel did a stew, what she called a stew, and it looked so good. And I was thinking, when my chuck roast comes in, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that because her way, super simple, very easy, and very easy on me. Am I right, Chanel? More shrimp. More shrimp for Jack. Shrimp, shrimp, shrimp. This is my freebie item. The whoopsie daisy ground beef. Grass-fed ground beef. So good. So good. And if you thought that I got enough of the QVC burgers and I was satisfied, no, I got more. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs of the beef patties from Butcher Box. So that's the unboxing. Have you ever ordered Butcher Box before? For me, it's super convenient. I love it. Thank you, Butcher Box. Right now I am doing multitasking between frying up the 70-30 ground beef for my next recipe. I am watching Cindy DeManch and Chanel doing a live right now. So multitasking, that's what it's called. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Why are you using a regular plate as opposed to a paper plate for draining? Because I'm going to eat with the real plate after I'm done double draining onto the paper plate. So if you know, you know. This is the first draining. There's a little bit of glazing on the plate, but that's okay because this is what I'm going to eat my lunch with, and it's about 11:45. Still watching the Cindy live, and I'm going to cook this up with 2 eggs for my late lunch, or I mean late breakfast, early lunch. Now remember, this is good for the burn barrel. It cooks up the garbage just wonderfully. Super hot. Beef tallow is good for many, many things. So you know, the 1 pound Quick Trip package of ground beef that I cooked up, that was 1 pound, 16 ounces, the 1 chub, produced 10 ounces of just plain defatted ground beef. 4 ounces of which I used for my 2 eggs, and 4 ounces of defatted ground beef. But today I will be putting the Frank's Red Hot sauce on. So you BBB&E police, look away. Okay, follow along. For the next recipe, we'll be using the following: the Kirkland bacon crumbles, Egg Life plain egg white wraps, the desired amount of the Kettle and Fire beef broth, eggs, the desired amount, and I will be using, in today's recipe, 6 ounces of ground beef because my lunch, late breakfast, used 4 ounces. Did you know after cooking the 16-ounce chub of ground beef that I get from Quick Trip, which is 70-30, 16 ounces equal 10 ounces of the ground beef drained? Just saying. Okay, stick with me. It's going to go real quick. There is, now I am adding in the frothed up eggs. Trying to stir them around while filming is always difficult. This is the way that I like the soup that I'm making right now. Whoa, let me turn the bubbles down. Whew, let me give it a good blow. There we go. This is the way I prefer it. Now, everybody has their own taste preferences and palates, and maybe you're thinking chicken sounds better. And that's okay. If that's what you want to have, this is just a beef, butter, bacon, and egg challenge. That's all. And I'm adding the 2 whipped eggs because, well, number 1, I can. Number 2, I believe it adds volume to it. As you see how thick it's getting, very, very frothy. It's getting there. I'm going to turn up the flame a little bit because I want to be able to heat it through. Get rid of the whisk for just a few in this process. Enter in, whoops, a silicone spoon instead. This is very thick. This is like a stew. Some may say, wow, Jerry, this is too creamy. This is almost like scrambled eggs. To each their own. This is the consistency that I like it for this particular application. Now I'm going to be adding into the mix the Egg Life wrap pieces cut up. This is one humongous bowl of stewy satisfaction. If I would have used homemade beef broth, I believe it would have been better. It would have been probably browner. Last but never least is going to be the addition of ground beef, which may be tricky for this one-handed camera lady. Probably tricky. Yes, very tricky. There we go. Adding that all in. This is one big bowl. One huge bowl of beef butter, bacon, and eggs stew. Woo! Stewy. And the last of the ground beef. This is 6 ounces. So, like I said, this is a big, satisfying bowl, a full meal for me, in my case. Let me turn it out into a soup bowl and show you how I top it and how I will eat it. And because I know people ask me, how much does this weigh? How big is this meal actually weigh? This is teared out. This is a plain bowl. Same size as this bowl. That's full. So just over a pound, almost 18 ounces. By the time I top it off with the bacon pieces, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, soup. Okay, let's call it stoop. Is it possible? Absolutely. 19 ounces. Will this fill you? And here's the stoop in all its glory. Really, there isn't very much liquid. I know, perhaps you're thinking 2 eggs was too much for this. Sometimes I make it with 1 egg only, personal preference. Today, the air conditioner made me chilly. Don't even talk about the fact that I'm dressed the way I am. Maybe I should put more clothes on today. It's hot outside. A lot of people don't have soups or stews. So with that being said, let's take a bite of the stew. Let me get up here so you can see the smoking happening here. Yeah, the smoking and the steaming. I just barely salted it. I wasn't sure about how much of the salt was going to be imparted due to the bacon. Oh, and remember the package that came in today? If this would have came in yesterday, for example, and wasn't rock hard, I would have made more of a stew using this stew meat, the grass-fed premium beef steak tips. But alas, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, is it possible in a soup, in a stew? In my case, yes it is. Is it good? Yes it is. Yesterday I was watching a video about people saying the egg life wrap does not impart any flavor. It's just boring. It's just boring. It was the consensus because it's an egg white. Egg whites, like tofu, imparts the flavor that you put into it. If you were to let the egg white pieces, these ribbons, sit longer to absorb more of the broth, if it was thicker, if it was all the straight up brown beef, and after the beef, like my friend Chanel makes, she makes a stew, letting the beef cook all during the night, you would have a different texture. Everybody's different. This is what I was craving today. Despite the fact that it's 80 degrees and the humidity is very high outside, I wanted something warm inside. I'm chilly. Whoops. Delicious. So that's it for me for this stoop. I'll close out the video later. Well, for me, that big bowl of stew was more than enough for a lunch for me. And I don't think I'll be eating dinner. Well, it is 10 minutes to 4 right now. Nothing's planned yet for Jack's dinner. He had a bit of an upset stomach today. Don't know what the cause is. So I haven't fed him anything today, so I'm waiting to hear back to what he wants to eat or what his stomach is ready to eat for that matter. But yeah, I think right now I'm going to call the kitchen closed because I'm full. I prefer to eat earlier before going to bed. Reason being is it's better for you, they say, to not go to bed with a full stomach. Usually I'll wake up in the middle of the night, albeit the dog needing to go out or me needing to get up. And sometimes I'll just be up at 5 o'clock and here I am on Dr. Kiltz's live show, winning prizes. That's just how my life is. I don't know what to expect from minute to second, but I'll tell you, today's meals, the little meals that I had today were actually big meals, in my opinion, quite stomach filling. And for me today, they hit the spot. It's something that I incorporate, soup, in my life, sometimes 365. I just feel the need for soup. Whether it's in a mug, sometimes I'll take it in my thermos to work, which is fine as a precursor to lunch at work. I'll start at 1 o'clock, and here I am. Nobody knows what I'm drinking, but that beef broth that's in there is warming me from the inside out. So, today was a good day. I hope you enjoyed that recipe for soup. For me, it turned out kind of sort of the way I wanted it to, maybe. The fact that I film with one hand and I stir, I know causes a lot of you guys to go, stop it. Put the camera on the tripod, do that. And I chose today to do more hearty because I only had that one container of the bone broth, and I wanted to be able to stretch it for 2 different experiments or 2 different meals. So that's why you got the recipe that you did. I would have preferred more ribbons in the soup. It was only 8 ounces of liquid of bone broth, but it produced a bowl that was over a pound of food. Very satisfying. I will put the recipe down and the macros. If you're on Chronometer and you want me to send you the recipe, put your comment down below. I'm happy to send the recipe to whomever. Or you can talk to me on Instagram. Many people do that. That's not my preferred platform, but a lot of people do correspond with me there, and that's okay too. So thank you very much for following me today. I appreciate it. I enjoy your company. I enjoy the comments. Comment anything you want down below, be it good, be it bad, positive, negative. It all adds to the algorithm, and it's good. Do you have any suggestions for me to come up with a recipe? Sometimes I think of these just at the drop of a hat, on a whim even. But I want to hear from you. If you have any ideas in your brain that you want to make happen on the stove, on the griddle, whatever the case may be. Tomorrow's recipe for lunch is going to be a good one. It's going to be another twist, so stick with me, folks. We're going through BBB&E, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, like you've never seen before. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers.